I hate to interrupt such a good crowd having such good fellowship already, but good evening. And welcome to the Boardman Civic Association's Community Awards Dinner. I'm Mark Luke, a member of the Boardman Civic Association. It's our pleasure to welcome you here this evening. We will recognize members of our community for their business and civic leadership, as well as building projects in Boardman Township. The awards are New Building, Business Person of the Year, Community Service, and Citizen of the Year. And we're also celebrating tonight the 75th anniversary of the Boardman Civic Association, founded in 1950. By way of a few introductions this evening, we have with us Mahoney County Area Court Judge Joe Hauser. Judge. Boardman Township Trustees Tom Costello and Steve Iacovone. Gentlemen. Boardman Township Fiscal Officer Brad Calhoun. Brad. And our Boardman School Superintendent Chris Neifer, also with us this evening. Very good. Even though he's not here tonight, Judge Robert Russo always loves this day in history, so we're going to have some tonight. So October 20th in history. In 1803, the United States Senate ratified the Louisiana Purchase, $15 million for 868,000 acres, if you can believe that. And more importantly, ownership and control of the Mississippi River Basin. Really very interesting. In 1944, during World War II, United States forces under General Douglas MacArthur did indeed return to the Philippines with the landing of the U.S. 6th Army on Leyte Island. In 1962, the spooky song Monster Mash hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart just in time for Halloween. Hopefully you all know that song by Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers, because it was a graveyard smash. In 1968, American Dick Fosbury used his unconventional technique, winning the men's high jump gold medal at the Mexico City Olympics using the now famous Fosbury flop to win that high jump, which has become accepted as the most efficient high jump technique. So, just when you've had enough of hearing from me tonight, I get to upgrade things and introduce the president of our organization, McKenna Ozinger.
Thank you, Mark, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our annual Community Service Awards dinner and also our special celebration of the Boardman Civic Association's 75th anniversary. My name is McKenna Ozinger, and I am the president of the Boardman Civic Association. Before we get started, I just want to give a quick introduction of our board and thank them for their dedication to this association and our community. Vice President Meg Harris, Treasurer Mark Hadley, Secretary Mark Luke, and board members Jeff Barone, Attorney Marty Bushy, Karen McCollum, Tim Saxton, Rick Schaefer, Dan Segul, Joe Sylvester Jr., and Kevin Willis. So thank you all for your dedication to our board. For those of you not very familiar with the Boardman Civic Association, we are a group of local business, civic, and community leaders interested in the general welfare and development of Boardman Township. We have quarterly meetings to receive updates on matters in the township, as well as news on the schools, park systems, and business environment. Our dinner meetings and events include our spring business mixer, annual academic achievement scholarship dinner, our general election forum, and like tonight, our annual awards dinner meeting. In certain years, when warranted, we have also hosted a primary election forum. If anyone is interested in becoming a member of the BCA who is not already, for networking and our fine dining, please see our program, or you can ask a fellow board member for more information. Two of our most recent association events this year were our annual Academic Achievement Awards dinner, at which we awarded 6 $1,000 scholarships to Boardman resident seniors to use towards continuing their education. And our most recent event, our general election forum in September, which had a great turnout of speakers and attendees. I want to congratulate all of our 2024 Community Award winners, and thank you for all you do for Boardman and beyond. And I want to welcome any past awardees who are joining us tonight, and thank you for your dedication to the community then and now. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, McKenna. Now we're going to turn to a slideshow presentation. Hopefully you all can see this now. We're going to kind of flip through this, talk about our awards ceremony and the history of our organization. So this talks about kind of what McKenna was just talking about, who we are, what we do, and how we host our forums and different events and dinners that we have and things that we engage in. These are our board members. So in case you didn't know them, there they are. Yes, we're celebrating 75 years. This is really a unique opportunity. You know, we host the public forums, talks about the critical issues, the things that we've done, contributions that people have made, and like we talked about in the program, the people who have had just a vested interest in this association and in Boardman Township. So we were organized in 1950. The original name was changed to it was the Boardman Trade Council, then Boardman Businessmen's Association, then changed to Boardman Civic Association. Used to meet at St. James Parish House on Market Street, and then moved to Schott's Restaurant, and then the Golden Drumstick, if anyone can remember some of those places. Then moved to Boardman United Methodist Church, and then most recently moved to the park for our meetings and events. And we, like McKenna said, we promote the general welfare of Boardman. And in our efforts, we do the scholarship dinner, and we have officers. You can see some of the original officers there. J.D. Fowler, President, House Slocum, First Vice President, Art Nicolette, and Roy Ross and Glenn Garrett, some old names in the township. First woman to join the association was Boardman Township Clerk Genevieve Novicki. Nice that we preserve those historical documents and records that we have. Past award winners. These are the awards we have given out over the years: Community Service, Renovated Building, New Building, Citizen of the Year, and Business Person of the Year. We have several award winners here with us tonight. Would you all please stand or raise your hand that we may recognize you historical winners that are with us here this evening? Don't be shy. Come on. Stand up. Denise, you're also one of them. Yep, very good. Yep. That's wonderful. Thank you for being here and coming back and joining us. So our Community Awards Dinner, we're doing New Building, Business Person of the Year, Community Service Award, and Citizen of the Year. Our New Building Award winner for 2025 is the United Way Resource Center out on Market Street. We'll have a little more detailed description of them shortly, but you can see some nice pictures there of their dedication and the ribbon cutting that took place in August of 2024. Our 2025 Business Person of the Year is Fred Moran from Window World. You see a very nice picture there of him and his family, all engaged in the Window World Company. Our 2025 Community Service Award to Debbie Liptak. And our 2025 Citizen of the Year, Mr. Rick Schaefer. Let's give a round of applause for those award winners. Okay, now we get to some introductions. You know what, I just want to make a comment here. I've had the good fortune to do this kind of MC work over the years, and when you're giving out awards and you're communicating with these people, they send you their bios, some information, and I was asking, how would you like to be introduced, or what kind of information would you like to have? And just about every time you talk to these people and you tell them you've won an award, we want to give you an award, they're very humble people. They say, well, why me? I don't deserve this. I didn't do much. And then that's when you know you've reached the right person, because they're humble in their leadership, they're humble in what they do in life, and it's just a pleasure to make those phone calls and to get those reactions from people. And in thinking about tonight, over these years that I've done this, there have been 2 award winners that have actually saved lives. And they mentioned that in their bios, not for recognition and not to be announced at the dinners, we didn't do that. But they just wanted to be known that they were so very proud they had the opportunity to do that. One of them witnessed a car accident where a car went into a body of water. They were able to jump in the water and save this person's life. And another one was at a public meeting, someone had a cardiac event, and this person was able to render them aid immediately and save their lives. So these are the kind of people that we are recognizing and working with, and just some thoughts that I had in preparation for this evening. Our first award is the New Building Award to the United Way Resource Center. August 8th, 2024, United Way volunteers, staff, board members, and donors gathered for the ribbon cutting of the 12,000 square foot United Way of Youngstown and Mahoning Valley's new Santa Fonte Volunteer Resource Center at a prime location on the Market Street corridor, making real a plan envisioned years earlier. During the dedication ceremony, United Way President Bob Hannon told the story of where this building idea originated in a conversation between Bob and Mr. Ed Moransky in April of 2020. Both Bob and Ed had seen news stories about food distribution needs during the pandemic, and the idea for the Resource Center began with a food drive for needy families when many people were isolated. The following weekend, United Way began a food distribution to 50 families with 8 volunteer drivers. The plan was to do the distribution for 8 Saturdays. By the 8th Saturday, they had 100 families and a waiting list. And it became evident there was need to continue these efforts. United Way partnered with several local organizations and volunteers for what became their Saturday of Caring, and the third Saturday of each month. Bob Hannon explained that he and Ed Moransky discussed a new building that should be a community center. United Way headquarters is downtown Youngstown, doesn't have space for a lot of volunteers or storage. So volunteers are packing food in boxes outside the Southwoods Health Facility, but it didn't provide protection from the weather. United Way was offered supplies from various companies and organizations, but lacked the space to store them. That's when they realized they needed a volunteer resource center and began that planning. The James and Coralie Santafonte Charitable Foundation contributed $1 million for the project, kicking off the fundraising. And an additional $1.5 million in federal funding was secured. Many other local organizations also contributed to the building. The new center provides space for agency initiatives, including packaging food for deliveries for those who need it. It will also offer meeting and storage space. United Way invites other organizations to use the center. At the dedication, Eric Carlson, a member of the United Way Board of Directors, said, "Things do not just happen. It takes time, sacrifice, and investment for everyone to make our community better and to provide support for our youth so that they themselves can become future leaders. The opening of the Santafonte Volunteer Resource Center is truly that investment." To the United Way and all of their staff, supporters, and volunteers, for your investment in Boardman Township and all the community and societal good that will come from this building, the Boardman Civic Association presents their 2025 New Building Award to the Youngstown-Mahoning Valley United Way Resource Center. Accepting the award this evening is United Way board member, supporter, and volunteer, Mr. Eric Carlson.
Thank you, Mark. In true Mark fashion, he stole most of my words that I needed to talk about today on that end of it, but you're still going to get to hear them anyways on there. On behalf of the United Way of Youngstown and Mahoning Valley, I want to start by thanking the Boardman Civic Association for recognizing our organization and the Santafonte Volunteer Resource Center with this year's New Building Award. It's a real honor, and we're proud to share this moment with so many people who care deeply about this community. We're excited to be a part of the Boardman community and very thankful for the support that the township's leadership and the people of Boardman for their support of our organization and the Santafonte Volunteer Resource Center. I'm here tonight representing the United Way, both as a board member and as the chair of the building committee. I'm joined here tonight by Roxanne Seabest, Vice President of the United Way, and several other of our amazing team members and volunteers that are sitting right here at this table. Thank you all for what you do to make an impact in our valley. Two people that couldn't be here tonight but are also very proud of this honor are Bob Hannon, our president, and Chris Sammartino, our board chair. The Santafonte Volunteer Resource Center is located at 8133 Market Street in Boardman, a project that started as an idea during the COVID pandemic and has grown to something truly special. This building evolved from the vision of leadership of Mr. Ed Moransky during the COVID pandemic to help people that couldn't leave their homes to get food, which then became what we call Saturday Day of Caring, held the third Saturday of every month. If you've never been there, just pop in, show up. Third Saturday of every month, we're always there. It's an amazing thing to see for our community to be able to do that. Used to take, as Mark said, it used to take place in the parking canopy of Southwood Health. It now takes place at the Resource Center, rain or shine. Our volunteers move food from the Save-A-Lot store in Boardman to the Volunteer Resource Center and then pack it into individual packages for each family being served. When it started in April 2020, there were 100 families being served. Fast forward to last Saturday, we served 465 families and had over 150 volunteers involved, which is truly amazing. Before the building of the Resource Center, space was very tight at the Youngstown office. Every corner was filled with supplies for our programs, plus a storage pod sitting outside. We knew we needed a better solution to keep up that work from being done across the valley. The new Santafonte Volunteer Resource Center was that solution. This project was made possible through an award of a federal grant, along with the generous gifts from the Centofanti Foundation, the Difference Makers, and many other sponsors who helped fund this center. These funds were raised in addition to our regular campaigns so that programming and services across the valley were never impacted. It's a 12,000 square foot facility built to serve the hub for all the work the volunteers and partner agencies do. It's a place where people can come together to pack food for Saturday Day of Caring, organize supplies for our school programs, and support the families in every corner of Mahoning Valley. This center is a place where volunteers gather to do the work that the United Way provides. This center is a place where the United Way partner agencies meet to do their work. It truly is a volunteer resource center of the Mahoning Valley. I'm very excited to see how this volunteer resource center continues to be used because the possibilities are absolutely endless. For our Mahoning Valley to have 2 locations supporting the work of the United Way is truly special. This building represents more than just bricks. It's an investment in people. It's an investment in our valley's children and families. It's an investment in future leaders that we're helping to grow. And that's really what the United Way is all about. It's not just a fundraising organization, it's about action. Every dollar raised stays right here in our community, helping fund programs that give people the tools to build better lives. Through programs like Success Before 6 and Success After 6, we help kids get an early start they need in school. Through the care closets, we make sure students have clothing, hygiene products, and other essentials so that they can focus on learning. Through Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, more than 7,000 children across the valley receive free books each month to spark a lifelong love of reading. United Way also leads the IRS's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program and the tax consulting for the elderly programs, offering free tax return preparation to individuals and families, along with financial literacy classes that help people build confidence in managing their finances. The Centofanti Volunteer Resource Center now gives us the space to grow all of that, all those programs, and to do it even better. We're proud that the Centofanti Volunteer Resource Center sits right here in Boardman, a place known for growth, pride, and community spirit. The same values that define United Way also define the township. That's why this recognition tonight means so much. On behalf of the board, our staff, our volunteers, and the thousands of families that we serve, thank you for honoring the United Way of the Youngstown and Mahoning Valley. The Centofanti Volunteer Resource Center belongs to all of us because it was built by and for this community. Thank you again, and thank you for everything your organization does to make Boardman Township a nice place to call home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric, and to the United Way staff and volunteers who are with us here tonight. Thanks for joining us as well. The building is great, and letting us know some of the programming that also goes on there, and that those funds did not take away from the programming and the general campaign. These are important things to know, because when you donate to organizations like United Way, you want to know where the money's going, and it's the stewardship, and that you're doing good things with it. You're doing what you promised to do, and that's what we want to support, so thank you. Our next award is Business Person of the Year. For more than 22 years, Fred Moran has been a cornerstone of Window World of Youngstown, where his leadership, generosity, and family values have shaped both the company and the community it serves. Father and son duo, Fred and Pat Moran, opened their first Window World location in Youngstown, Ohio, after deciding to go into business together. Fred was retired from a career in the remodeling industry, but he wasn't quite ready to call it quits. Pat also had many years working in the window business under his belt. Together, they've grown an empire. Window World Penn, Ohio, founded in 2003, employs 75 at its stores in Youngstown, Akron, Cleveland, Toledo, Pittsburgh, and Weirton, West Virginia. The company provides homeowners with replacement windows, doors, siding, and gutter protection. In August, the Moran family received the Store of the Year Award from Window World Incorporated at the 2024 Window World Family Reunion in Orlando, Florida. Because there is a Window World Family Reunion in Orlando, Florida. I thought that was going to be funnier, Fred. I'm sorry. It was funny to me. I just thought it was unique. The Moran Group's Window World locations were selected from over 220 franchisees across the country. Selection criteria included growth, success, and steadfast commitment to customer satisfaction. Fred is extremely proud that his children and now grandchildren are involved in the family business. Fred is a proud father of 2, grandfather of 4, and great-grandfather of 3. Fred has always believed that family comes first, a belief that is woven into the very fabric of Window World's culture. Even now in retirement, he remains involved in the company's philanthropic efforts, continuing to give back to the communities that they have supported his family's business for decades. Fred Moran and Window World have proudly supported organizations such as United Way, Salvation Army, numerous veterans-based nonprofits, local schools, and youth sport teams. His commitment to service also extends through his years on the board of the Ursuline Sisters Mission and the Boardman Rotary, where his leadership has helped further their missions of compassion and community outreach and service. Fred with his son Pat lead the annual Ursuline Sisters Mission and Beatitude House Golf Outing, a cherished event now in its 29th year, which has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for those in need. Fred enjoys traveling, spending time with family and friends, and continuing to make a positive impact wherever he goes. His life's work is a testament to the power of faith, family, and community, a legacy he's built continues to inspire everyone at Window World and beyond. Last fall, Pat Moran surprised his father, Fred, by donating $500,000 towards the renovation of the Beagley Center at Youngstown State University, where the South Lobby will be named the Window World Fred and Lucy Moran Lobby. Fred's wife of 66 years and partner in all things in life, Lucy, died in January of 2024. Fred Moran subsequently honored Lucy with a $300,000 donation to support the Fullness of Life Future of Hope campaign to benefit Ursuline Sisters in their retirement and sustaining the Ursuline Sisters mission. The lobby of the Ursuline Mother House will now be named in memory of Lucy. Window World is continuing its investment in Boardman, with their addition and remodeling project currently taking place at their store on Southern Boulevard. Mr. Moran, for your continued investment in Boardman Township, your responsible business practices, community service, and philanthropic contributions, it's our pleasure to award to you the Boardman Civic Association's Business Person of the Year, Mr. Fred Moran.
Well, I had about a 25-minute speech.
Go ahead.
And you just heard it. I thank the Civic Association for this honor. Believe me, it is, I don't know why. I mentioned to you, why me? I'm just a little guy here in the community, a big community, and I've enjoyed it. I'm so fortunate God's let me be on this earth for a little over 90 years. When he brought me on board, I had such a great life. Went to Ursuline St. Dom's. I won't bore you with all of that, but what I will tell you about the last 25 years being involved with my family, my son. He was up in Toledo in the window business, convinced him to move back here. I failed at retirement at 65, so I had to get back active. And after that, we got involved with Window World, and it has been nothing but a great venture with them, fortunately. After all these years and good health and be able to drive at night, stuff like that, you've already heard all the stuff that I've been involved with Window World and my family, which I have thoroughly enjoyed. So rather than take all that 20 minutes that Eric said I had, he took most of it, which is fine. Glad to hear it. But I do thank the association. I thank all the board members. This is quite an honor, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fred. And again, one of those examples, you know, when I talked to him, he said, why me? Why are you calling me? I don't deserve this. But we feel you do. And your comments, brevity being the soul of wit, were wonderful. So thank you, sir. Yeah. Next is our Community Service Award, awarding Debbie Liptak. Originally from that state up north, but born and raised in South Detroit, her family took the midnight train not to just anywhere, but to Boardman, Ohio. A graduate of Boardman High School, Youngstown State University, and Leadership Mahoning Valley, recently retired Development Director of the Public Library of Youngstown and Mahoning County, the first person to ever hold that position with our county library system. Debbie has been a resident of Boardman Township for 50 years. Now, it's one of those situations where it's going to be easier to say the organizations Debbie's not involved in than the organizations she is involved in. But I started writing them down, and I got a Post-it note or two together, and I put it all together, and then all of a sudden it started to do something like this. And I'm not done. So anyway, we'll get to those later. Debbie is proudly serving on these nonprofit boards currently. YMCA, the Mahoning Valley, YWCA, the Mahoning Valley, Boardman Community Foundation, Boardman Historical Society, Easter Seals of Northeast Ohio, Boardman Rotary Club, and the Mahoning County Law Library. Past president of these organizations: Junior League of Youngstown, Boardman High School PTA, Youngstown Symphony Orchestra Guild, Penn Ohio Women's Tennis Association, Angels of Easter Seals. Past boards served on: Association of Fundraising Professionals, Youngstown Symphony Orchestra Society, Villa Maria Residential Services, Southside Community Development Corporation, Friends of Fellows Riverside Gardens, Mill Creek Park Levy Campaign, Boardman Schools Levy Campaign, Public Library Youngstown Levy Campaign, Fellows Riverside Gardens Capital Campaign. Awards she has received: Boardman Local Schools PTA Hall of Fame, YWCA Board Member of the Year, Boardman Rotary Foundation Paul Harris Award, YSU Phi Kappa Phi Community Service Award, and an Athena nominee from the Regional Chamber of Commerce. Professional organizations she is involved in: Association of Fundraising Professionals, Public Library Association, American Library Association, Boardman Civic Association, Boardman Rotary, Junior League of the Mahoning Valley, Youngstown Area Federation of Women's Clubs. She has chaired community events like the Friends of Fellowside River Gardens parties, Youngstown Symphony Ball, and most recently, her large and historic high school class reunion. She's a member of St. Charles Church, a lector reader for 26 years, 100th Gala Celebration Chairwoman, a CCD teacher for 17 years, and served as a parish council member. Her interests include being a 5K runner, a 10-year captain of USTA women's tennis teams, pickleball, and a dog lover. She has two grown children, Stephanie living in Pittsburgh and Matthew living in Washington, D.C., has 3 grand dogs, and was married to her late husband, Steve, for 40 years. I have a quick Debbie story. So Debbie and I we became friends, we began talking, and at some point you said your maiden name, Basinski. And I said, oh, well, my brother has a friend from YSU at his fraternity days named Mike Basinski. And you said, oh, Mike's my brother. I said, oh, really, that's unique. And, my brother's 8 years older than me, so when I went down to the fraternity house with him, it was eyes wide open, for a 10, 11, 12-year-old back in those interesting days of YSU. So I called my brother. I said, hey, guess who I met? And I said, well, I've been friends. I didn't realize it's Mike Basinski's sister. And he said, oh, you mean Bubbles? Bubbles is Debbie's nickname. And if you're putting it all together, back in the day, she would have been Bubbles Basinski. So now, Debbie, everybody knows your nickname. You're welcome. You never know what's going to happen when you give me a microphone. But I'll tell you, in getting the biographical information from Debbie, she sent me an email. And at the end of it, she said, a lot happens in a lifetime. And it sure does, especially when someone lives a life like you have, Debbie. It's been wonderful. So for your efforts continue to leave an amazing legacy, which is truly community service. So Debbie, in recognition of your generous stewardship for groups, organizations, and individuals, and continued support of our Boardman community and beyond, the Boardman Civic Association hereby bestows its 2025 Community Service Award to Debbie Bubbles Liptak. Maybe you weren't expecting that.
No, I wasn't.
I'm in trouble now.
So can I say, yes, you are. So can I say this for the record? I owe you one, Mark, for sure. And I just want to start out by saying that, as Mark mentioned earlier, I am truly, truly humbled and honored to be receiving this award. Thank you to the Boardman Civic Association for this very, very wonderful award. It means a great deal to me as well. Can I just start out by saying that, he went through a litany of things that I did. But again, it didn't happen overnight, and it happened over the course of many, many years. And with that being said, I could not have done that if it hadn't been for my supportive husband, who I was married to for 40 years, who was always saying, no, Deb, go for it, you can do this. Also, my children are here with me this evening, and they were part of that ride too. I mean, they did a lot in the community as a result of me because they didn't have a choice. I said, you're in this with me. I was very fortunate, and I'm going to share this with you, that I had parents that were very much involved in their church. And my mother was a past recipient of Boardman High School PTA's Hall of Fame Award, and my mom served on many levy campaigns. And I have to say that that's a big part of how I started on my legacy, is having parents who believed in volunteering and giving back in their community. There's a quote that I live by, and I want to share it with all of you, and it's something that Connie Connect always would say to me. If you haven't heard of Shara Maccabee, she was the CEO and author of Joy of Leadership, and she said, it is to live your life as to lead is to serve. And I am grateful to say that there were so many people along the way who saw something in me and allowed me the opportunity to lead. And I learned from so many that servant leadership model, because it's all about giving back. It's not about what you get. It's all about giving back to your community. So for all the young people in the room today, if you get an opportunity and volunteer, you never know what doors will open to you and the people that you will meet along the way. And I share that because a lot of my success in the careers that I have had all were the result of people seeing me volunteering in the community and said, hey, Deb, I think you would be really great at this opportunity and this position. And that's what carried me to where I am today. So on behalf of myself and also my family, I just say thank you to all of you. That I am filled with gratitude. It really means a lot to be accepting this award today. And let me say this, I'm used to being in Mark's shoes, not the person up here. I'm usually the one giving the awards away. But again, thank you so very much. Very much.
Well, congratulations and thank you, Debbie. And you had me thinking, you know, there's a phrase, a good deed is its own reward. And you have lived that in your life as well, so thank you. Thank you. Our next award is Citizen of the Year Award to Mr. Rick Schaefer. A Boardman native, Rick is a graduate of Boardman High School and Bowling Green State University, and it's at Bowling Green where he met his wife, Denise. It's spelled Denise, but it's Denise, right? We're pronouncing it Denise? Okay, very Denise. I thought that would go over better too. No one's seen that video? Denise, Aaron, no one's seen that? Come on. Are you asleep after dinner? What's going on out there? I was up all night writing these jokes. Not going anywhere. All right, back to Mr. Rick Schaefer. Sorry, Rick. Rick started his career at Packer Thomas accounting firm in January of 1988. Obtained his CPA license in December of 1991 with licenses in Ohio and Illinois. Became a partner at Packer Thomas in October of 2003. Specific areas of expertise include auditing, accounting, and tax consulting. With experience in multiple industries, including as a consultant to companies on acquisition strategies and ESOP accounting methods and strategies. Professional associations, member of the American Institute of CPAs, Ohio Society of CPAs, ESOP Association, and the National Association of Certified Valuators and Analysts. Volunteer activities include Boardman Community Baseball and Boardman Community Baseball and Boardman Community Baseball. He's one of the people who's a heart of that organization. Treasurer and past coach. Interestingly and wonderfully, he managed his daughter's 2007 All-Star team, softball team, participated in the Junior League World Series in Seattle, Washington. And through Boardman Community Baseball, he is a chairman of the Chuck Schaefer Scholarship Committee. He's also a past member and past president of Boardman Schools Fund for Educational Excellence, member and past president of the Four Square Club, member of the Boardman Civic Association's Board of Directors, and a member of the Boardman Township Civil Service Commission. Rick resides in Boardman with his wife, supportive wife of 36 years, Denise, who works for Junior Achievement of North Central Ohio in Canton as Vice President of Human Resources and Volunteer Engagement. Rick and Denise are the proud parents of 3 children, all of whom graduated from Boardman High School. Erin, who lives in Canton with her husband Brandon. She is General Manager of the Fairfield Inn in Stowe. And twins Matt and Mike. Mike is a CPA and tax manager for Ritz Holman and lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin with his wife Madeline. Matt is also a CPA and an audit senior manager for Packer Thomas and lives in Austintown. It's a pleasure to note that Rick's father, Mr. Charles Chuck Schaefer, also received this award in 1973, all of which speaks to the character of Rick and the Schaefer family. We do need to mention one thing about Rick's character. If you've known him or been around him long enough or seen gear that he wears or a license plate on one of his vehicles or a mug that he has, there is one character issue we have with you, Rick. But you know what? We're a forgiving organization, the Boardman Civic Association. We're tolerant, we love you, and we recognize that none of us are perfect. He's a fan of the team up north. Is anybody following along here? We have a lot of fun teasing you about that, Rick. So we appreciate your having fun with us back. So Rick, for your leadership, your loyalty, and your generous contributions of time and talents, and your continued support of the Boardman community, the Boardman Civic Association hereby bestows its 2025 Citizen of the Year Award to Mr. Rick Schaefer.
Well, unlike McKenna, I'm not using my phone because I couldn't read it from the, so had to write things out and put it in big bold print. First of all, I'd like to thank the Boardman Civic Association for this tremendous honor. I want to thank especially my fellow board members for nominating me. I'd also like to congratulate the other award winners tonight. These are the people that make Boardman great. Boardman Civic Association is such a great organization that promotes Boardman so well. If you're not a member, please consider joining. I'm especially proud to accept this award since it was given to my father over 50 years ago. He was the one who inspired and encouraged me to become involved in my community. I watched him as I grew up in countless hours in many organizations, especially his beloved Boardman Little League. I grew up in Boardman Little League. I was a player, a grounds crew member, an umpire, a coach, a board member, and now treasurer. There are so many people that put countless hours to manage, organize, and care for the program. It is truly one of the jewels of our community. When Denise and I started our life together, we discussed, where do we live? Denise worked in downtown Akron. I worked downtown Youngstown. So we started looking for communities in between the two areas and really found nothing. Nothing, at least, that compared to Boardman. So I owe Denise special thanks, many special thanks for everything in my life. But today, more importantly, I owe her the thanks of being willing to do an hour commute every day that she still does today. I truly love being in Boardman and organizations supporting our community. I get so much more back than I ever put into them. While I've spent most of my time in Boardman Community Baseball, I've also enjoyed my time giving back to the schools through the Boardman Schools Foundation for Educational Excellence, the township with my time on the Civil Service Commission, and also Boardman Civic Organization. I'd regret it if I didn't thank my company and my fellow partners for allowing me to spend time volunteering in the community. Our firm mission statement speaks to it when we say Packer Thomas must exceed the expectations of our clients, our employees, and our community. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing that Packer Thomas truly lives it. Our staff are involved in many organizations, including United Way, American Cancer Society, and many, many others
within our communities. It may seem as if people don't get involved as much as they used to, and I truly hope that's not the case. When I speak to young people, I tell them to get involved with organizations they have a passion for. The joy you get when working with others to provide something for your community and be proud of is truly second to none. Once again, thank you to the Boardman Civic Association for this honor. Boardman truly is a nice place to call home.
Thank you, Rick, and congratulations. And these are just such wonderful comments from people who are just so appreciative of the community that they live in, sacrifice that people made for them, the roads that people showed them, right? We stand on the shoulders of giants in life, we do every day. And the example that your father set and you've continued, and it's just wonderful. So thank you very much. We want to remind the award winners that, we're going to take pictures afterwards, and if there's a fireplace in a room, it's mandatory. You must take the pictures in front of the fireplace. So we have one right over there, and so afterwards we'll move some tables out, but we ask your award winners after you're done talking to the people who are here to greet you this evening to join us for some pictures. Not a rush, but just when you're ready, please come over and we'll get that organized. Do want to make some thank yous here this evening to our president, McKenna Ozinger, Meg Harris, Karen McCallum, Mark Hadley, Boardman Schools Television Network, Boardman Park, and the media coverage we get for our events is always wonderful, and the promotion is wonderful. So our next events are next March with our mixer and our scholarship award next year, so we're looking forward to those. In a few weeks, we have on November 4th, we have a general election in this country, as we do every year, and we are a civic organization, so we encourage people to be an informed electorate and to vote, because you have that freedom in this country, a freedom that most people in this world do not have. So you can opt out or you can opt in. We as a civic association encourage you to do so. But study the issues, study the candidates, become informed to make good decisions, because you have the ability to decide the future. We all do. So please take advantage of this election and many more in the future. So congratulations to all our award winners this evening. We've heard examples of true community service, community leadership. Every award winner this evening has shown us they are people who live their beliefs and commitments through their actions. Thank you for showing us how to improve our community. And those of you who are previous award winners who are with us here tonight, we too are continuing on the traditions that you set, and we're so thankful that you could be with us here tonight. Boardman has an amazing amount of diverse opportunities in almost any area of life, including family activities, education, commerce, healthcare, recreation, community service, and faith. Let's continue to take advantage of these opportunities or try them for the first time and preserve Boardman's motto, what's been repeated more than once tonight, a nice place to call home. We wish you all a happy and blessed holiday season and new year. Thank you, God bless, and good night.